What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. So, this weekly reset, we got This Week in Warframe, where we go over the entire weekly reset and things of that nature. If you enjoy these types of weekly reset videos, make sure you're subbed to the channel. We do them every single week, and I'll also be live on stream right after this video goes up, grinding out some of this weekly reset stuff and the like. Alright, let's get right into it. So the first item of the weekly reset will be at Teshin. It will be his item for Steel Essence. And we have 30,000 Endo for 150 Steel Essence today. Not exactly what I'd call worth it, but hey, it's your Steel Essence. Do with what you want. So we have the Archon Hunt and things of that nature. So as a Warframe player this week, you actually have a very, very big event coming up this upcoming Thursday. Not an in-game event, but it will give you some stuff in-game. And the thing happening this Thursday at 2 p.m. ET on DE's official channel is the next major dev stream. They'll be talking about the Abyss of Dagoth update. And you want to make sure you watch that stream live, or at least have it active in your phone in your pocket, because you will be getting a guaranteed Archon Tau Shard from watching that stream. I will make sure to remind you on my live stream about it. But yes, you will get a guaranteed Archon Tau Shard from watching DE's official stream. It will only be on their channel. No other channel will have it active. Only DE's official channel, okay? And a reminder, these are pretty annoying to get, so you want to make sure you get that on Thursday at 2 p.m. ET. Let's get into it, though. First things first, we have the Archon Hunt, the blue Archon Shards, giving things such as armor, health, and the like. We have the mission types being mobile defense, excavation, and the final boss showdown with the Owl Archon. Good luck on that one. Moving into Deviri, let's go ahead and look at the normal frames for the normal circuit we have. Last week we had Korra, that was very nice. So what do we have this week? Okay, so we got Baruch, Garuda, and Hildred. So we have all three of the Fortuna frames here. Going off the top of my head, I'm trying to remember which one of these is the most annoying to farm. The Hildred frame comes from the Exploiter orbs, the blue gigantic spider, and I believe the yellow gigantic spider drops Baruch, and normal Garuda just comes from bounties. We have the prime versions of all three of these frames currently farmable, so it's really whatever one you want to get. I'd say the best Helminth ability this week is definitely going to be Hildred, so I'd say maybe go for Hildred if you're having a hard time deciding which one to get. Her Helminth ability is called Pillage. It's good at removing enemy armor, shields, and preventing status effects, or rather, removing status effects. And for my rank-up rewards, I have Blazing Pillage, a very good augment for Hildred, so that's a pretty nice one right there. Moving on to the Incarnate Rotation, let's see what we got. Ooh, we got a really good one this week. We got the Bow Incarnon, the Latron Incarnon, one of the best in the entire game, easily. The Fierce Incarnon, which is extremely underrated and powerful. The Firax Incarnon, which I've kind of warmed up to over the months, but it's still just a boring fist weapon. And the Strun Incarnon, which basically becomes a shotgun rocket launcher. Let's go over a brief overview of what all these do, and I'll give you my recommendations for the week. For the Bow Incarnon, its special ability gives it increased range when it transforms. And it's sometimes used as a stat stick by some players with the Mark 1 bow, getting a massive stat chance increase from the Incarnate upgraders. If you're not using it as a stat stick, it's pretty much just a staff weapon with chance of impact procs become slash procs. That's pretty good, but also staff stances feel pretty awkward, so I would not recommend this one unless you have everything else, and this is the last one you're going to be getting. The exact opposite of what I just said, this should be one of the first ones you get, the Latron Incarnon. Its Incarnon form becomes like a bouncing, exploding fireball launcher, and one of its top-tier Incarnons will remove enemy armor from a puncture status effect permanently. This is one of the only ways in the entire game to remove enemy armor without any Warframe abilities. Get a couple puncture procs on them, they have no armor, and they're dead. Additionally, the other choices are pretty strong too. Massive crit chance increase, crit damage increase. The Latron Incarnate is just good. I would highly recommend this as your #1 choice this week if you have not gotten it already. If you have already gotten it, and you already have Latron Prime, you could maybe try the Latron Wraith. I haven't tried the Latron Wraith, but yeah, the Latron Prime is a lot more expensive nowadays for this reason alone. This Incarnon is very good. For the Fierce Incarnon, this is definitely one that people underrate a lot, including me at first. Once I actually got around to it, I started using this thing a lot more, and it's very good for high-level enemies and just heat procs in general. So the way this works is once you transform it, it becomes like a jet engine of fire that can just burn away the entire row of enemies. It has very high heat damage and pretty good fire rate and things of that nature. So I'd recommend it. Now, it's very good on frames like a Naros, because there's a mod for this called Winds of Purity that gives you built-in lifesteal. Every tick of damage gives you healing back. So on a Naros, I heal my entire 10,000 health bar in one tick of damage. Only problem with the Furious Incarnate is there is no Furious Prime. There's an A-Furious Prime, 2 of them that you're holding together, but there is not a singular Furious Prime. So you're going to be stuck on the Mark 1 Furious or the normal Furious. And I bought with the normal Furious and just renamed it to Furious Prime. So yeah, very good one right there. Maybe honestly number 2 choice this week. The Furious Incarnon, you could use this as a stat stick. Its special ability is you can do a a fire slam that has high heavy attack efficiency. If you're landing directly on the enemy, I guess, sure. The heat wave it does is like basically 0 damage. It might as well not even have a special attack. I got debated by this, honestly, when this came out. It says, heavy slams leave behind a heat damage field after heavy slams in Incarnon form. That sounds so much cooler than it actually is in-game. But if you want to get this, it can be an okay stat stick, it can be an okay light attack and heavy attack melee with that chance to become bleed on impact procs. It's an impact weapon. So if you want to try it out, be my guest. I'm telling you right now that it was not as exciting as it sounded in the description when I first got this. And for the final choice will be the Strun Incarnon. Now the Strun Prime did just get vaulted, but it shouldn't be that hard to get. It's pretty cheap, and there's plenty of relics out there in the player inventories. So yeah, this thing turns into a rocket launcher when you get the Incarnon charged up. It's got crazy status chance. You can also go full crit on this thing instead if you'd like to. It's heat impact on the explosion shot, so lots and lots of heat procs. Or lots and lots of viral procs or corrosive, whatever you mod for. So a very good primary, but I'd still say that the Latron's probably better overall. So as far as my overall recommendations for this week with the Incarnons, number 1, Latron for sure. Very good for high-level missions. Very good for just lots and lots of stuff. And number 2 is going to be coming down to personal preference. Do you not have an extremely good high-level pistol? Because if you don't, you can try the Furious Incarnon as it's extremely powerful for burning away enemies with that heat proc. But if you already have some good pistols, say you have the Dual Toxist, you have the Lex Incarnon already, then go with the Strun Incarnon, as having another really good primary could be nice. But again, as I said earlier, I'd probably go with this one as the second choice, to be honest, as you can't have 2 primaries equipped at a time. But with this, you could have your primary, Latron, and your secondary Furious. But, if you don't like the Latron, feel free to go for this too. These are your 3 big choices this week. The 2 melees are kind of meh. Alright, let's go and look at the Nightwave and the Call mission. Just a reminder, we are kind of in like a waiting period right now for Warframe, so the big news this week will be that dev stream. Make sure you keep an eye on the channel and watch their stream live to get that Tau Shard guaranteed drop, okay? You got the blue shard at Chipper. Will never be Tau, ever, no matter what you do. And then for Mr. Call over here, we got the sneaky sabotage if you are a legit crazy person and do these every single week like me. I have never missed a call mission. Maybe I will someday. Complete the mission without dying or becoming Veils, the first challenge. Remove 5 Veils using the Veil Breaker. Reminder, there will be no Grenier Marines in this mission, so it'll just be like Fortuna people you're saving. Freeze or burn. Freeze the Narmer Cyto Rachnoid twice at the end. That's the boss at the end. He'll have ice barrels nearby him. Collect Chipper's Toolbox. Get 5 kills within 5 seconds. Pretty easy with the call down Hammer of Dawn, whatever it's called at the end, the Plasma Cutter. And destroy 3 Pazul Axons. I don't think I've ever actually done this challenge before. But yeah, they're in the environment hidden throughout the mission. Good luck with that one. And yeah, may the call be with you. Let's go ahead and look at that Nightwave now. And yeah, I'm expecting some kind of Nightwave information on this dev stream on Thursday. So keep an eye out on that as far as a new Nightwave season is. We're about 4 months into this one right now. Usually how long they go. All right, for the first weekly, we got 6 different animal captures in the Orbidalis. I really don't like doing that, but I just have some older guides on the channel involving this. I usually would use like Vara with a sleep arrow. Help Clem with the weekly mission. Go ahead and do it. Complete 9 invasion missions of any type. I usually recommend to do the forward boss fight on this, as it's really quickly, just really repetitive, just 9 forward boss fights. Loyalty, gain a total of 5,000 standing across all Syndicate factions. Super easy. A lot of the stuff in this game is Syndicate faction rep based, if you've noticed. So that is just basically play the game. Kill 100 enemies with a Necromech. If you don't have a Necromech and you really want to get this rep here, you could technically go to the Cambion Drift and pilot a dormant Necromech. Okay, they literally tell you to do that right here. If you got your own Necromech though, just do like an Isolation Vault or do a Railjack Survival or something. Now our first Elite Weekly is Archon Hunter. Complete an Archon Hunt. If you, okay, there you go. That's a lot. That's a lot of description. So basically, beat the Veilbreaker quest, and then most of this stuff is just how to do a sortie. Basically, do the Archon sortie by beating the Veilbreaker quest, and that'll become a new weekly available to you. Get the Archon shards, and then Day Trader win 3 wages in a row without letting the enemies score once in the index. So bring some CC frames, bring your Mesa, bring your Korra, etc., etc. Don't let the enemy score at all, and just keep on banking. All right, so the NIGHTWAVE store, we got the evergreen stuff at the top, as always. And we have, Varuna helmet. That's kind of nice. I don't like this Varuna helmet personally, but maybe somebody out there likes that. I like her base helmet more. Nihil's Obulet. We got the... Okay, who cares about these helmets? If the helmet is something that you want, of course, go for it. But as far as the aura mods this week, more important to me, we have the Sprint Boost mod, Rejuvenation, Shotgun Scavenger, and Steel Charge. As far as which ones I'd recommend you buy, if you don't have any of these at all, definitely #1 priority, Steel Charge. As you can see, on the Steel Charge mod, it says 9 drain in the top right. All these other ones are 7. Steel Charge gives you more mod capacity, as this is an aura mod, and instead of draining capacity, it adds capacity. So that 9 gets multiplied to 18, extra 18%, or 18 mod capacity. These ones give you 14. So Steel Charge, really good. Also gives you increased melee damage, too. But if you already have Steel Charge, Rejuvenation is nice for new players, as it gives you some built-in health regen. It can stack between teammates, too, for a bunch of health regen. And also Sprint Boost. Very nice for just moving faster. And as far as the other, we got a Wolf Beacon this week. That's nice. But yeah, for Mastery Fodder, we got the Jaw Sword Blueprint and the Dark Sword Blueprint. We also got Wolf Beacons if you dare buy a Wolf Beacon after that Wolf mission we had a couple months ago. PvP Augments, we got Brainstorm for Gakata. Double Tap the Latron. I tried this out. It does not seem worth it, even though they did make it work on the Fireball Launcher, apparently. And then Purging Slash. So yeah, if you want to get Double Tap or Latron, maybe sell it to some other players. Try it out yourself, see if you like it. That's Latron Incarnon and Double Tap here this week. Feel free. I just didn't think it was very necessary. All right, that's going to be basically it for your weekly reset. Let's go take a look at the invigorations I have, and we're going to call it there. I'll be live on stream very soon after this video goes up. So let's hope that we got some cool fun. I had a Saren one last week. It was really fun. Okay, so some frames don't really play that much, but hopefully there'll be good stats that can maybe override it. So for the first the Invigoration, we have secondary crit chance and 1,000 armor for Lavos. Hey, 1,000 extra armor for Lavos is nice, as he has a lot of armor built in already, so maybe a decent one there. For Kalervo, we've got increased primary crit chance and increased reload speed. That could be okay, I guess. I kind of like him more for melee, but that's okay. And then for Mag, secondary damage increase of 250% and immunity to status effects. So pretty boring invigorations. They're all like weapon-focused ones. But yeah, if you make sure you watch that stream, guys. You can get a Tau Shard guaranteed. Maybe I'll throw it on my Korra, throw like a red Tau Shard in her or something. It will be a random shard from we can understand. But yeah, just make sure your Twitch account is linked with your Warframe account to get those items. All right, I'll see you on stream very soon. Appreciate all support. And yeah, daily videos on the channel, guys. Appreciate it. Take it easy. Bye.